Hello everybody, this is Mr. Chapman here, and today we're going to do another maths tutorial video. Today is percentages of amounts. Now I hope this camera is going to focus properly. There we are. Now, as you all know from class, a percentage is something out of 100. Now imagine you have an object, a number, a shape, a banana, doesn't matter what, and you split it into 100 equal pieces. Each one of those equal pieces will be worth 1%. So when you put all of those 100 pieces back together, you have 100% and you have the whole object or number. So this is all about finding percentages of amounts. Now you'll see these in lots of the SATs papers. You'll see them in the arithmetic paper as well. And most of them will look something like this. It will say something like 10% of 140, something like that. Now this is a nice easy one to start with. Let's look at what it's asking us to do. It's asking us to find 10% of 140. Now 140 is our complete object, our complete number in this case, and we want to find out what 10% of that number is. Now remember, our 140 is going to be our 100%, our whole object. So the best way to solve a calculation like this is to keep your percentages on one side and keep your numbers on the other. And whatever you do to the percentages, you do to the numbers. This will allow you to work out what the answer is going to be. So in this case, I'm going to say that my 100% is equal to, I take everything that I've got, my 100% is equal to 140. Now, we want to find out what 10% is. Now, I said, whatever we do to the percentage, we do to the number on the left. Now, remember, if we have 100%, we have everything. If we have 10%, we have to look at how many tens fit into that 100. Because remember, we've got 100 little pieces. We only want 10 of them. Using our place value, we can divide by 10. So 100% divided into 10 groups becomes 10%. So we have 10 and 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 10. That gives us our 100% again. So 100% is 140. 10% is 100% divided by 10. 140 divided by 10 on our place value chart gives us 14. That is a really easy method of finding your 10% straight away. It works really well. Now, once we have found our 10%, we can then do some calculations with it. Focus, thank you. So, here's another one. This one says 40% of 530. So, what's it asking us to do? It says we want 40%, that's 40 of our little 100 pieces, of 530. Now 530 is our new whole number, our complete. So let's break this down as we did before, and we'll say 100% is equal to, in this case, 530, because that's everything we've got. That's all of our 100 pieces. Let's do exactly what we did before over here. Let's do our 10%. 10% is a really easy calculation to do because we know our 10 times table. We know there are 10 tens in 100. So we go from 100% to 10%. We divide by 10. So we do the same thing to our number. 530 divided by 10 gives us 53. Now, this isn't the final answer. Unlike this one over here, it wants us to go a little bit further. It wants us to find 40%. Well, hang on a minute. If we've got 10%, if we take 10% and 10% and 10% and 10%, that's going to give us 40%. So our 40% is going to be equal to the 10% multiplied by 4. Do the same thing over here. Here's our 10%. Let's multiply that by 4. 53 times 4. Use a short multiplication. 3 fours are 12, 2 in, 1 over. 5 fours are 20, with the 1, 21. So 40% equals 212. Whatever we do to the percentage, we are doing to the number. Okay, let's have a look at another one. 35% of 1,200. We're going to approach this in exactly the same way. What's our 100%? Always the first line I write down. Our 100% in this case is 1,200. We're going to do exactly what we did again. We're going to find our 10%. Because 10% is easy. Divide by 10, divide by 10. 10% becomes 120. Now look at what we want to find, 35%. Well, we could find 30% easily because we could take 10 and 10 and 10. We need to find the 5% from somewhere. Now there are two ways of doing that, and I'm going to show you both. Okay, the first way is a way that we use a lot. 1%. How do we get from 10% to 1%? Well, we divide by 10 again, because there are 10 ones in 10, therefore we divide by 10. 1% then becomes 12, using our place value. Well, now we can start to build up our 35. Our 30%, let's take our building block for the 10. We've got 120. We want 3 lots of that. 120 times 3 is going to give us 0 3s are 0, 2 3s are 6, 1 3 is 3, 360. 5%. We've got our 30, we now need a 5. Let's take our 1%. How do we get from 1% to 5%? Well, we multiply it by 5, of course. So our 1% is 12. Twelve times 5, 2 5s are 10. 5 and 5 is 6. Should have known that off the top of my head anyway. We got one step left to do. We now have the 30% at 360. We have the 5% at 60. So to find 35%, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to add the 30% to the 5%, gives us 360 and 60. Total those up. I've run out of paper at the bottom, so we'll do it over here. 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 6 is 12. 1 over. 3 and 1 gives us 420. Now, you're thinking to yourself, well, hang on a minute. I've spotted another way of doing that. And there is another way of doing it. The 100, the 10, and the 1 are the most useful percentages you can find. If you can find 100%, 10%, and 1%, you can have as many 10s as you want to make the 10s. You can have as many 1s as you want to make the units. The other way that you could have done this, starting with our 100%, let's bring this down a little closer. Here we are. We can see it. 100% is 1,200. Our 10% was 120. From the 10%, you're saying, well, hang on a minute. Can't we do 5% straight away? Well, of course we can. Because how do we get from 10% to 5%? Well, we halve it. 5% has got to be half of the 10%. So what's half of our 10%? There's our 60. So then we have our 30% again, which was 360, because we've done that calculation there. We then end up again with 35% equaling 360 plus the 60, which is the 5, giving us 420 a different way. Some people find it easier to see it and do it this way for a 5%. Some people prefer to still find the 10 and the 1 and then count up. The choice is yours. Okay, let's have a look at this one. 49% of 3,500. Somebody's looking at me scared now that the numbers are getting larger. Don't worry, the method is exactly the same. If you understand the method of what you're doing, you will be able to come up with the correct answer. Percentages are nice like that. So, here's our method. We start with our 100%. What's our 100% in this case? What's our everything? 3,500. Next step, our 10%. We know this is an easy calculation. We divide by 10, we divide by 10. Place value gives us 350. 1%. Another good building block. We've divided by 10 there, we divide by 10 again, and we get 1% at 35. Here's our building blocks. We need to build a 49%. Well, to get 40%, we're going to take 4 lots of our 10%. So 40% is going to be equal to 350 multiplied by 4. 0 4s are 0. 4 5s are 20, 3 4s are 12, 13, 14, 1,400. We now need our 9%. How are we going to find 9%? Well, we know what 1% is. Well, if we take 9 of those, that will give us our 9%. So that's going to be 35, which is our 1%, multiplied by 9, because we want 9 of them. 5 9s, 45. 3 9s, 27. And the 4, 31, 315. We have the 40 and we have the 9. Combine those to get the 49. So 49% will then become 40%, which was 1,400, plus the 9%, which was 315. Oh, make sure we can see it. Total those up. Gives us 1,715. There's another way, Mr. Chapman, I hear you cry. There is. 49 is very, very close to 50%. We could, if we wanted to, if we spotted it, we could do it a slightly different way. Our 100% is still 3,500. 50%, well, that's going to be half, and it's pretty close to 49. 50% is going to be what? What's half of 3,500? It's going to be 1,750. 1%, we know from here, was 35. Well, if we then take our 50% and our 1%, take them away from each other, take away 1% should give us 49. So let's see what we got. going to have to exchange there. 4 take away 3 is 1, 7, 1. 1, 7, 1, 5. Now again, this method will get you the answer straight away. You can see it's slightly longer, but it's step by step. This method will work if you see it. This is the beauty of percentages. There are many, many different ways to calculate the same calculation. I would say if you are struggling, always remember your 100, your 10, your 1. Then you can count as many 10s as you need, as many 1s as you need, and total up, and you will get an answer. This is slightly more advanced. Okay, last one for today. 67% of 750. Work it through. We know what our method is going to be. Our 100% is equal to 750. That's everything. Our 10%, always our friend. We can divide by 10, 75. Our 1%, also our friend. Divide by 10, divide by 10. You'll notice, if I use my place value, I am going into decimal numbers. 1% is 7.5. Don't panic. If that's what 1% is, that's what 1% is. You're allowed to use decimals. Remember, that 100% is everything. I've got to split it into 100 equal pieces. Those equal pieces might have to be decimals. Let's build it up. How many 10% do we need? 6. So 60% becomes equal to the 10%, which is 75, multiplied by 6. 5 times 6 is going to be 30. 6 sevens are 42, and the 3 is 45. 7%. 7 lots of the 1%. The 1% is 7.5. Come on, camera, stay with me. 7% is going to be equal to 7.5 times 7. Now, you will have done decimal multiplication in class, so we're going to forget that that decimal point is there for the moment and do a standard multiplication. 5 sevens, 35. 7 sevens, 49. And the 3 gives us 52. We're then going to put that decimal point back in again. So this is 10 times smaller. This makes our answer 10 times smaller and puts our answer at 52.5. If you don't understand that bit quite yet, don't panic. We are going to cover that one in class as well. That's why this is the hardest one. This is the one we do last. We have a 60 and we have a 7. We want to get a 67%. Come on, camera, stay with me. 67% will then become equal to our 450, which is our 60%, plus our 7%, which is 52.5. You must make sure you line up your columns correctly here. If it helps, we can put a placeholder 0 on the 420. Total these up. Gives us 502.5. Calculating percentages of amounts. Know what your 100% is. Divide by 10 to get 10%. Divide by 10 again to get 1%. And then you can build whatever percentage you want. It really is that simple. If there's anything else I can help with, let me know and I'll be in touch. Take care, guys.